So should you train to failure or not? What is training to failure? Is training to failure letting the ball crush you every single set? Is that what's gonna give you more gains and more results? We'll talk about that in this video. If you're new, my name is Sharif. Welcome to this channel, Natural Bodybuilder. Been doing it for over 10 years. But this video is not only about natural stuff, so whether you're natural or enhanced, welcome to my channel. It's all about bodybuilding, alright? And I'm here to share my knowledge, alright? And have some nice arguments. So if ever you have questions, always leave them down below. If you don't agree with what I say, leave it down below. So, should you train to failure? Today, a young gentleman at the gym was asking me for a spot many times. He was asking me for a spot on the bench press, and every single set he goes to failure. He asks for a spot and he goes to failure. He tried to surpass himself. He's training hard, alright? So I just told him, hey, it's not the best way to go about things. It's not the best way to go to failure on your bench press every single set. But in his mind, oh, I'm training to failure, that's how I will grow. I know that training to failure is the best for growth. So I want to talk about that, all right? Is it the ideal way of doing? Is training to failure, letting the bar crush you on a squat, going up until the bar is crushing you that you can't do another rep? Is this the ideal way for growth? Growth? Well, not at all. Now, let's start by looking at the exercises. So there's exercises that are compound movements like the bench press, the squat, the deadlift. They are very stressful on your nervous system. So they will use a lot of nerves to fire up. A lot of muscles are engaged when you're doing a squat. Your core, your stabilizers muscles, your quads, your hips, your glutes. All your muscles are engaged when you're doing a squat. Your focus, you can't think about something else because it's an exercise that is very taxing on your nervous system. So you have to be focused. Alright, on the other hand, compared to the leg extension, when you're just seated on the machine and you're just moving one joint, alright, your leg is going up and down, just one joint moving, it's not as stressful on your nervous system. Alright, you can be taxing and doing that exercise. It's not as stressful, alright? The triceps, push down, biceps curl, just one joint moving. So start by knowing that there's two type of exercises, two type of compound movements and the isolation exercises. You'll have also in between like leg presses and all, but let's put it on a spectrum where we have the compound and let's say the isolation and others. All right, so let's say you want to do a compound movement. It's not ideal to go to failure on the compound movement because it's already super stressful on your nervous system. When we are training, we are putting stress on our body. We put stress, we stimulate our muscles so they recover and grow later. But we don't want to destroy our body. If we destroy our body is just gonna say, well, I'm gonna win, you're not gonna win this, and it's not gonna give you the results that you're expecting. So you can't kind of go against your body, and that's what you're doing when you're squatting to failure, when you're benching to failure, and when you're deadlifting to failure. You might do it once a year. Even then, I never go to failure on my compound lifts. Even Ed Cohen, one of the greatest powerlifter in the world, he was saying that in his workouts, he used to train more for hypertrophy kind of. He used to do more sets of 5 to 8 to 10. All right, you never maximize up until the competition. That's your time to do your PRs. That's the time to go to failure. That's the time to fail if you need to, but not in the training. Why would you put so much stress on your body every single set? You're destroying yourself. All right, so compound movement, you're going to failure. The other thing is that your form gets compromised. When you're failing on the bench, your pec is in a compromised position, your shoulders, you're gonna tear your pecs. I don't even know how you will move it if you're failing and nobody's there to spot you. All right, and even if someone's there to spot you, you're not engaging your pecs anymore. You're compensating, and it doesn't get you anywhere. All right, I would much rather stop one rep before failure and jump on the floor and do sets to push-up to failure. Why push-ups? Because they're not stressful on your nervous system. The risk of injury is very low and you can't compromise the form that much. Alright, if you're failing, well, you just fall on the floor and that's it. You get up. Alright, it's not the same thing with a bench press where you have 200, 300 pounds on. Okay, risk of injury is super high. So compound movement, you don't want to overstress your body. It's already a big stress. Don't go to failure. Go close to failure. Training hard means going close to failure. Studies have shown that for growth, you need to get close to failure. Maybe 1 rep to 2 reps max close to failure every single set. All right, now we have the isolation exercises, the push-ups, pull-ups. The exercises that are not stressful on your body. So let's say the push-ups. Let's say body weight lunges. Biceps curl, triceps curl, triceps extension, leg extension, All those exercises just need one joint to move. So for those, you can go to failure by all means. It's super simple. It's not as stressful on your body. So yes, go to failure. And if you want to, it doesn't mean that you'll get more results by going that extra rep where you can't lift it anymore and you're struggling and struggling. No, for me, it doesn't matter. I prefer doing more volume. All right. Why would I kill myself in one single set where I can't even train anymore? All right. I prefer doing more volume and lowering the risk of injury and having enough volume that I'm pushing well, instead of that one set where I'm giving my 100% and all the other sets I'm just doing 10% because I went to failure. So that's not the ideal way to train. Okay, let's talk about, let's say, the exercises in between, the leg press, the lat pull down, those exercises. Well, you could go to failure for the last set, but even on those exercises, it's super easy. Let's say a lat pull down. Well, when you can't do it anymore, you just put it back. It's not stressful. It's not, the risk of injury is not that high. All right. So should you train to failure? No. On certain exercises, yes, if you want to, but it's not necessarily gonna give you more growth. You should approach failure, and that's where maturity comes in the gym. That's when someone that is mature can know, okay, I'm doing a bench press, I know that I have 2 more to go. It's knowing how much more to go before you start. All right. Another thing, a lot of people want to train to failure, but then their form is so bad. All right, the form is so bad, and this is something that I can't really handle in the gym. It's something that I'm not really a big fan of. It's just seeing someone doing a bad form, and then if I spot that person doing a bad form, it's like if I'm encouraging that. All right, and I have to say, change your form. Don't train to failure. Make sure that you're controlling the weight. Make sure that you're not ego lifting. All right, doing sets of 1 to 3 reps when you're starting, it doesn't make sense. All right, when you're starting in the gym, build that foundation. All right, go for sets of 8, go for sets of 10. Make sure that you're building that volume. Make sure that you're getting that nice mind muscle connection, that you have a proper technique, you're not bouncing the weight. All right, so there it is, guys. Should you train to failure? If you like that video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.